everyone. I know I've been a bit crap at doing SmackDown videos. I do keep aiming to do them. For now, this is this week's Raw. Let's kick off with my favourite again. This week's video is actually Nikki Cross or her sister Abigail. It shows Hardy talking to her. She's looking around. He says to her, "Look at yourself. They lie to you, ignore to you, watch you suffer in solitude. I have always been the answer all along." At the end of the video, she's seen crying and screaming. Seems these videos are sort of the motives for becoming a group. Why they're the forgotten ones, the abandoned ones, which seems to be what the group is about at the moment. I think there's a lot of people out there who can relate to feeling like that. I know I've had my few issues with it recently. Later on, in terms of all this going on, we have Xavier Woods, Otis and Tozawa fighting off against the Final Testament. It ends with Karrion Kross with a pinfall on Xavier Woods. Later on in the night, we see Xavier Woods requesting a match with Karrion Kross next week. So that's a match for next week. Adam Pearce made that official. But back in the ring, Chad Gable comes out with the Creed brothers. He basically tells Otis as a new leader that it was stupid for teaming with Xavier Woods and losing, as that was one of their first decisions. But basically, his motive is to try and recruit them again. He's just trying to protect himself against the Wyatt Six, basically. As we know, they are after him. He tells them that the Wyatt Six is after everyone, including them. Otis tells him he's just been fleeing the whole time, it's not really protection, and that the answer is still no. So Chad orders the Creed brothers to start beating down on his old friends. Basically, then the lights go out, and you see the four members. You see Sister Abigail, Ramblin' Rabbit, Huskus, and Mercy all come out. But Uncle Howdy turns out to be behind Chad Gable. And he performs a Sister Abigail on him, which is obviously in one of the tributes to the Painter. I think he looked to be in his wrestling gear as well, so I think now we know what Howdy will be wearing. It looks like he's been hitting the gym quite a bit, from what I remember. He looks quite muscular without that coat on. Well done, Bo Dallas. And the storyline is still going the way that a lot of people will be hoping it would. It's going positively. So I'm very happy at the moment with how that's going. Let's go next. One thing I wanted to talk about was the title picture. Gunther says he's been reflecting on last week and agrees that Priest is just a bum. And he's not living up to the honour of the sport and the championship that he's holding. And he wants to take the burden off his shoulders. And he just asked him to give him the championship. He says he's judging him by his friends, by which he means a Judgment Day, and they're all trash. I think they're all going to fall out anyway, this Judgment Day. Priest just comes out. He doesn't say anything though. He just sort of punches him, and it ends up at the backstage. It ends up backstage. They both end up ejected for the arena for their behaviour. So I assume we see Gunther and Priest for this week. There's a lot more Judgment Day stuff though, as I will discuss. We see Dom asking Rhea about Jey Uso wanting to give her his number, and no response. She says she was just messing around, unlike what he's been doing with Liv, and that she's also been keeping an eye on his socials. It's been mentioned that he's liked a lot of her posts that have been against Rhea. So that's probably what she's referring to. Finn says to Dom, they should show Jey who's boss, try and get Jey Uso. Rhea says it's not important, it doesn't matter. They shouldn't really be going after Jey Uso because it's irrelevant. And obviously that she's accused of defending him, so I think this is going the way that they're going to accuse her of being with Jey Uso. even though there's no indication of that other than Jay Uso flirting with her, like Liv has been with Dom, even though Dom is getting stick as well. But will she end up with Jay is one of the questions I've got out of all of this, because I still feel that there will be a split up of a lot of the Judgment Day characters, or a different Judgment Day that won't involve Priest and Rhea specifically. We do see them running around looking for him, and they decide to split up. Finn and Dom end up as a group. Dom is left on his own for a few seconds, and we see Liv come to him because she knows how Rhea makes him feel, and that it's all going to be fine. And Dom says it is all fine, and she thinks it means with her. You know how Liz mind is working about him at the moment. And she's like, that's the spirit. Finn appears and she says that's the cue to go. Bye, Daddy Dom, as she calls him. Finn is looking at him like, I left you for 10 seconds. But did Finn have something to do with Liv appearing? Remember, they went off as a group, then he left him, and then Liv was there. With all the stuff that's happened with Finn Balor as well. Is Finn involved in this somehow? We have a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental title, which saw Ilya Dragunov and Bron Breakker. Dragunov looked at it quite strong in this match. He actually managed to do a powerbomb, but obviously Bron kicked out. He managed to superplex him off the turnbuckle. He dumped him on his head out the ring on the floorboard, but the match was called off because Dragunov couldn't no longer compete. He got speared. So Bron Breakker was actually announced the winner for Sami Zayn's title. This is where it's going into what is involved with the Judgment Day. There's a segment backstage with Sami Zayn talking about how they went to war that night and Bron deserved the win. He's taking him seriously, but he says he feels that Bron should also take him seriously. But then he hears a bit of a scuffle and he sees JD McDonough and Carlito beating down on Jey Uso. And then later on in the night, Rhea says to him, what were you doing? I told you not to go after him. And she seems quite angry. At this point, Finn challenged Gunther to a match for calling him a joke, basically. So that'll be a match next week as well. Rhea kind of drags Dom to the ring with her. She says to Liv, if you want him, come get him. Liv doesn't actually come down to the ring. She just appears from sort of one of the balconies in the crowd behind the announcers. She says she has feelings for Dom and claims that he has feelings for her. That gorgeous men like Dom go for girls like her, not Rhea. I'm not really a big fan of Hooters Barbie myself. I'd rather look like Rhea. As you can see, I've got a choker and a Ouija board earrings myself. I'm a bit of a goth. Dom does actually stop her running to Liv because she was going to start charging towards her at that point. But Dom says he'll deal with it, and he says he hates her, but she's ruined his life over and over. He pretty much curses her in Spanish. I don't exactly know what he said. I don't know the Spanish. He can't stand her. See Liv looking hurt, crying, and she walks off. Rhea whispers something to him and licks his face. So it's like this is what she wanted all along. If you look on her Twitter now, Liv is blacked out her page. There's no profile picture, it's just black and no banner. It's black. I do, however, still feel Dom could turn on her at SummerSlam, that he has actually chose Liv. I'd be disappointed because I'm not a big Liv Morgan fan. I prefer Rhea myself out of the two. We also have Sami and Jay versus Finn and Madonna. So Jay got a pin after an Uso splash. So they've got a victory over tag champs at the minute. Are they going to get a tag team shot? I wonder in the future. But Sami was attacked by Braun after the match. So that is the whole Intercontinental title picture. We saw Braun win earlier. Not very fairly because he just made it so that Ilya couldn't fight anymore. That was what we saw. That was the last thing we saw on Raw. But also, we had developments in the CM Punk Drew McIntyre storyline. It's something CM Punk's told people is cleared for the match on Saturday at SummerSlam by the surgeons, and he calls out Drew. Drew has a very intense look on his face when he appears. He tells Punk to control his emotions, and that when he chills, he turns to his family. He showed that he's got that bracelet again that's got the name of Punk's dog and his wife on it. I do wonder if AJ Lee will return because there's currently rumours that Punk is trying to get her back involved with it. Adam Pearce says the match is on at SummerSlam, but there are a few rules. Basically, he says they can't put their hands on each other till then, or the match is cancelled, and that the one who does put their hands on the other will be suspended. So, and that there's a referee problem because the referees don't get between them. Seth Rollins comes out at this point, who we know has problems with both of them. He talks about is the referee because they can't get anyone else. I do wonder how Seth Rollins is going to play out in the outcome of the match, given his problems with both of them. My personal gut might be Seth is having a heel turn and that he might actually help Drew. We'll have to see what happens. I don't think he'd help Punk. But obviously I could be wrong. I don't know what WWE writers have in store. I'm just a fan in the UK at the end of the day. But that would be my guess, that he will end up helping Drew because of the issues they both have with Punk. We also saw a match between Lyra Valkyria with Kayden and Carter in her corner. She was fighting Sonya Deville, who also had her friend Shayna and Zoe in her corner. There's a bit of confusion outside at one point. Girls started brawling, and Sonya picks up the win after hitting a devil's advocate. So Sonya's been on a roll since she's come back. We saw Zelina Vega as well, who says that injury is not going to stop her from fighting tonight. We see the impact of what happened to her last week on her arm. She's got like a bandage on. And that she's been underestimated her whole life. She's actually fighting Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark, obviously, as you'd expect, tries to take advantage of the injury. She's targeting the arm. Shayna and Sonya are attacked outside by Kayden and Carter, so we run down to give Zelina a little bit of a support from them outside. Zelina actually got the win on this occasion because of distractions again with the Code Red. Zelina don't get many wins, so I'm quite happy for her this week. I know there's been a lot of questions about her booking over her size and everything, but we'll have to see. It seems to be like there's some groups appearing as well. We obviously know about Sonya, Shayna, and Zoe, but it seems to be Kayden and Katana seem to have problems with them. I don't know if there'll be some sort of large group tags. Maybe this is something that could be led up to into Survivor Series because that's the kind of matches they have then. We had Bronson Reed versus Pete Dunne. The match doesn't get started. Sheamus actually runs down Originally attacks Pete Dunne, but he ends up attacking Bronson Reed as well. We see Sheamus later talking about it. He says he doesn't know what Pete Dunne's issue with him is, but they can talk it out like fellas with a beer, or they can fight it out in the ring. So that's like an invitation to rejoin or have a match. I wonder if you're going to revive the Brawling Brutes, or if it's going to be a long-term feud between Pete Dunne and Sheamus. That's pretty much what I've got planned to talk about this time. I am planning on doing a bit of a video about anxiety and stuff as well, maybe, in relation to my Turner. I've got another couple of videos on about Turner syndrome, actually, if you look through my old videos. And then hopefully, if I get a chance, I might do one about SmackDown this week. And I've been a bit lazy at doing those ones for one reason or another. It's usually because I've got my nephew. But please like, subscribe, follow, everything else. And I'll do another one soon. Thank you.